Since the beginning of our history at Northwest, there's been a Butterfield deeply involved. Charles E. Butterfield, who was pastor of Bethany Temple Assembly of God in Everett, taught 2 days a week in 1934, the first year of our operations. He didn't have a college degree. As a matter of fact, none of our first Bible professors did. But he saw a need, and he was willing to serve to the best of his ability because he believed in the mission of training young people for Christian service. Butterfield would serve in a variety of capacities over the years to come, including as chairman of our board of directors. But his signature contribution to Northwest came suddenly and unexpectedly. On January 13, 1949, Washington Governor Arthur B. Langley appointed our founding president, Dr. Henry Ness, to the position of chairman of the State Board of Prison Terms and Paroles. Working that same day in his office at Bethany Assembly, Pastor Butterfield got a phone call from President Ness. Ness told him, "Because of my new duties with the State Parole Board, I'm going to have to resign the presidency of the school, effective immediately. I won't be down there tomorrow. You'd better come and take over." So with less than a full day's notice, Charles Butterfield took over as president. The next morning, he drove to the school, taught President Ness's classes, and worked to become acquainted with the operation of the school. He said later, "I was most aware of my incapabilities and my inadequacies for such a position in an educational institution. I had no theological background myself and didn't have a college degree. About all I did possess, I think, was a real burden for this work and a real desire to see it go ahead. So I finally consented that I would take the school permanently. But I did find tremendous help in the Lord and assurance from Him that He would be with me." And so President Butterfield resigned from a strong church and a good salary to take the reins of a precarious college. The following year, 1949-50, enrollment dropped to only 243 compared to 346 the previous year. President Butterfield and his family would live by faith and lead the college in the same daily dependence on God's provision. Things would only get harder in the years to come as the construction of Interstate 5 commenced, a road that ran straight through the building where the college had functioned since its beginning. In 1958, desperate to find a new home for the college, President Butterfield heard of a piece of property in Houghton, on the other side of Lake Washington. The property had lain vacant for 10 years after the end of World War II, during which it had served as a housing project for workers from the Lake Washington shipyards. Streets, sidewalks, lights, and sewers had been installed, but there were no paved roads leading to the property.
And one night while I was over here on this piece of property, and it was dark and rainy, and I knelt on one of the old concrete slabs that had been used as foundation for one of the houses. I asked God to give us this property. I saw a great possibility in this beautiful site overlooking Lake Washington. And the Lord spoke to my heart and told me that He would give it to us.
Shortly afterward, the United States government yielded to God's will and gave us the first 23 acres of what would become a 56-acre campus in Kirkland. Not only did President Butterfield move us to Kirkland, he himself moved constantly around the state and throughout the country to find the funding to build a new campus. The first 9 buildings were all built by his ardent faith, ceaseless prayer, tireless fundraising, and courageous leadership. His eloquent ministry throughout the Pacific Northwest left a powerful effect and reassured our churches that the university was staying true to its spiritual identity. Charles and his wife Edith left their kids a great heritage, one that is proudly shared by every member of the Butterfield family. 3 of the Butterfield's 10 children wound up attending the college. While different members of the family took up different elements of their father's multifaceted sense of mission, John took up his father's legacy in a unique way. The word legacy originally meant a person or group of people sent on a mission. In that sense, John became his father's legacy for Northwest, and he has never laid down the burden for Christian education that drove his father to enormous financial and professional sacrifice. With the support of his late wife, Jan, John became one of the most consistent major donors in the college's history, with lifetime giving exceeding $500,000. In 2020, he added an additional $115,000 as a lead gift in our project to remodel the Butterfield Chapel and restore it to its original beauty. In recognition of his family's longtime commitment to Northwest University, stretching back from day one and never ending to this day, we celebrated John Butterfield by awarding him the 2020 Northwest University Legacy Award, and we encouraged other people to follow in his example of generosity with the $1,000 gift. The Butterfield Chapel still serves as the spiritual cornerstone of our campus, designed, built, and remodeled by the Butterfield family. In the same way, their heritage of faith and devotion remain at the heart of our identity.